relax and have a seat. We're going to talk about why everything feels so shitty right now from a grounded perspective, but still spirituality, right? Like, we just need to understand what's going on in the earth from a different perspective, that if this resonates with you, then this found you for a reason, and that's how the universe works. So all that is real. So the collective consciousness of the world is basically a macrocosm of you. Like, everything that you see in your external reality is a reflection of you in some way. So this is hard to realize because we're at war. Children are being tortured and killed in horrendous ways. Trafficked. We hurt animals, right? So there's these aspects of us that we hurt. There's aspects of you that you hurt. Just think of it very simply. And this is how we're going to find a solution in your everyday life. What can you do specifically is coming. So in this video, so collective consciousness is a macrocosm of you. You're the same thing. And we're purging right now our shadow, basically. So in order to purge the shadow, it has to come into the light of consciousness. It has to come into our conscious awareness. That's all consciousness is just awareness. There are two different things, but for the sake of this example, it's like you're seeing something and you're consciously looking at it. It's like your awareness is what consciousness does. It's like a verb of consciousness. Okay? If that makes sense. So you are a small piece. You are like a whole mini cosm of the major thing happening. So when we see what could we do? Let's just go right into that. What could we do to start seeing this stuff? It's called shadow work. But it's also just tuning in to what's actually happening within your body. Does it feel good to drive your car down the highway? Maybe not all the time. Does it feel good to eat that food right now? Maybe not all the time. Does it feel good to work as much as you do? Maybe not all the time. Okay? So we're changing and we're starting to become aware of what we're actually doing within ourselves. So like, you might be asking, well, how does that relate to like children getting hurt, and how is that part of me? Well, your inner child is basically a piece of you. So if you're living a life that you as a child would enjoy, then you don't really have a problem. But if you're living a life in any way that your inner child, a child version of you, would cringe at or be hurt by, then that means you're kind of abusing yourself in a certain way. And that's not your fault, because society, your parents, all this external stuff that's happened to you has created us to believe that that's how we should do life. So there is literally nothing wrong with what you're doing in terms of your unconscious awareness. Like, what you don't know what unconscious is, you don't know that you don't know it. So what you don't know yet, you can't hurt yourself for. You can't be hard on yourself for. So I'm saying it as in, oh, you should be conscious of everything, but we just aren't. We aren't conscious. We feel something's off. We felt something was off in the government, and the way the power, Illuminati, and all this stuff happens. We felt there was something off. But now we're seeing little tiny aspects that are huge and groundbreaking and absolutely mind-bending. But we felt that something was off. So just as you feel something is off within the way that you're living your life and doing your life, something is off. You're always correct in your feelings. Like, your feelings are always valid. Something is off. And that's up to you to understand. And conflict resolution, what is off? What is off? Like, what is happening? Like, you know, when you have an argument with a friend, and say they're a close friend, right? You have an argument, and then you have different perspectives, and say you come together and now you're friends again. You talked about it a little bit, but there's still like a, I can't believe you did that, like, feeling from one of them or both of them. Like there's like a resistance, but maybe there isn't words to it. Maybe there's just a resistance, like I care about you, but there's stuff that still needs to be said to get to the same exact page, to where then you won't have that level of resistance. Like there's only so much you can do in your inner work, hours of inner work. You can only do so much of it, even if it is hours and years, like a year. Like, you know what I mean, of just everyday conscious work. There's only so much that you could take responsibility for, and then there's another person's responsibility. So if you guys can't come together and see each other's exact perspective, so if one withholds communication and one withholds feelings and one withholds all of this stuff, the other one can't do anything. And they have to make up what they decide to do. They go, well, now I won't make my life so dependent on another person explaining how they feel, if that they're not capable of that. So there's like different aspects, and then maybe that, you know, creates a rift where then they start drifting away. For those two people to be as close as they used to be, they have to be on the same page. So this is like parts work. They have to be exactly on this, or come to not a compromise, but a win-win solution. So say in this argument, one person believes in one perspective and the other one believes in the opposite perspective. Like, I mean, this could be literally for anything, but just say, like, yeah, this means, so in the one person's perspective, this means closeness to me. Emotional closeness is closeness to me. And for this person, physical closeness is closeness to them. So they don't really consider, if you're being emotional and you're sharing this emotional bond, that is closeness, because they're not sharing that same amount. It doesn't matter if you're sharing, they're not in the same currency. They're not in the same perspective. They're not even in the same, perspective. Like, they're not in the same world. So when a disagreement happens, you have to come to, honestly, in love, in a loving energy. Like, love is to take oneself, Teal Swan's definition at least, is to take another person or another being or another thing as part of yourself, and you act as in ways that it would benefit it. So if I'm taking another person in as myself, even just a friendship, especially a friendship, you should love all of your friends. You should love everybody in your life. Like, love is not just romantic love. Like, yes, that could have been a part of it, but like, love in general is, I want to understand you so that I'm on the same page as you. I was under a different a different page than another person, basically. So like, when you want to come together again or be as close as you were after an argument, just think of a husband and wife, or think of like anybody, couples, best friends, sisters, like anybody that really needs to make that amend. If you're living in a conscious community, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to have to make these amends. So you have to completely see the same thing. So like, if I think this is pretty clear, but just like, this person sees this as the situation for them, person one, and they show this to person two, and person two, just imagine these are exactly the same. They show this to person two, and then person two goes, okay, X, understood. Then, like, not without emotion, but with like a presence, like an understanding, like you want to understand their perspective. And then person two gets to share what this can't skip this part, but like the other person has to show what it felt like for them and what happened for them completely, no matter how like hard it is to hear. And then Person 2 gets to say, well, this is what happened for me in the same situation. These two are the same thing. And person 2 says, well, circle, 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 circle. Oh, and then person 1 says, understood. This is a 1. That looks like a 2 still. You know what I'm saying. This is a 1. Person 1 sees it. Oh, circle, 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 circle. And there isn't much, there could be emotion when you're expressing this, but like there isn't much, you're not right. And there's none of that. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to see when it's person 1 time to talk, it's person 1 time. And then they go and share that with person 2. Then understood, take as much time as you need in between. You're not going to have to do it immediately, but it helps to repair conflicts as soon as they happen, because then it just doesn't create more resentment and more things to get through and have to overcome. Then there has to be multiple of these conversations. It's just, then it becomes, do we even try? Because, you know, and that's the situation. It's like, do you even try then at a certain point if there's too many of these times that you have to like do all this? But if the world is at stake and if we're at war and people are dying, I believe you should try. You should try a million different conversations to be able to create a resolve for the situation, because people are dying, you know? So then it comes into morals and different things. But when we're talking about parts work, you're completely trying to understand each other, each part of you as well. So not just other people, but your whole life. Are you at war with people that you work with? Are you at war with your friends in a way? Are you kind of just subconsciously, or maybe not even subconsciously, are you kind of just like a little jealous of X gets all this attention? X gets, they never have an issue planning anything. Like, what are you jealous of with your friends? Like, basically. So, or what do you feel like people are jealous of you? X gets attention, like, or whatever. Like these things that other people get jealous of you for having. What kind of attention? What ease of conversation? Like it gets pretty complex. But when you're choosing to be in relationship with people, you're choosing to have some of the shadow come up. You're choosing that. So how do we deal with it? And that's what is happening in the world right now, if that makes sense to you. I don't want to keep saying it like that because it makes sense, but it has to resonate in a certain baseline for like the idea of what I'm doing here. So just understand, like, you have so many aspects of you, and there's different ways that they express themselves. And you have to understand that and become conscious of each feeling and interaction and reaction that you have inside of you and outside of you, and become aware of it. It's called your pain body. If you read The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle talks about the pain body, and that's not where it originated, but it's a great representation of it. It's like you're activated, like your pain body is activated, and then your pain bodies like fight each other, and then you're at war. Your darknesses are at war with each other. And that's the explanation of what's happening here on Earth in a bigger way. And I'm saying it just with these words, but obviously it's devastation, murder, like stealing, and horrible things that are happening. So it's really hard for us to look past that and be like, well, this is a reflection of me. Well, yeah, but it's not to be taken the empathy out of it. It's to see it in a way where you can start to then do that internal processing work so that you are a better reflection of the whole thing. You're a better reflection of the whole thing, okay? And that would represent this. You've seen your darkness, you understand it, you're aware of it, and you use it to its highest ability, you exalt it. And that's what we need to do with the strengths of our countries, the strengths of ourselves so we can come together and we can unite in one energy. This is one form. It just represents a little bit of darkness and a little bit of lightness in each other, in the things. And we're opposite, but we're one thing. It's like masculine, feminine. It's everything in existence. So we're now zooming out and we're like, we are this. We're not just one little piece of darkness or one little piece of light or one little piece of darkness in the light or one piece of light in the darkness. We're one thing. We're all of it. We're all of it. We're not just light. I'm not just light. I've made terrible mistakes. I've made disgusting mistakes in my life. Like, for me personally, that feel disgusting to me. Felt like murder to my body. So, like, to my innocence. So everybody makes mistakes, and you have to understand what's happening when you're experiencing these things and how to overcome that so that you can be whatever you're supposed to be. A projector in the human design, a teacher, laying the ground for new ecosystems, something, whatever you are. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you this. There'll be more of these, but if you have any questions or if you would like to kind of spark up more of a conversation so I can like keep one train of thought, it would be helpful. I like talking to other people like in a conversation because it helps me like with my train of thought, see and track. But yeah, I'm just trying something new with a lot of practice on this. So yay! See you soon, I guess. Bye.